Oh, wow, okay. As we jump into game number 3, and I'm just already wondering what production are going to do with AKA Wonder's green screen today.
All kind of fun japes they've had for us with Wonder's green screen. Let's hope it's nothing too surprising this time, as I think when I saw our faces pop up behind him, it damn near gave me a heart attack. But the mulligan phase in this particular matchup is a very, very weird one. Because you are obviously looking for card draw cards, because this is a matchup about finding that Shudderwock combo as quick as you possibly can, whilst also trying to maximize your odds of it actually successfully activating and bouncing a Shudderwock back to your hand. And that does lead to keeping cards that you would not usually keep in starting hands as Shudderwock. For example, just keeping the combo pieces.
Right.
On HS Replay, Grumble and Shudderwock themselves are 2 of the highest win rate cards when kept in the mulligan in this matchup.
Really?
Yeah, because you just want to do that as soon as possible. And drawing a card is good, but having the card you want already in hand is very good.
That's understandable. Well, as it happens, so far, both players looking quite even here. 1 Saronite Chain Gang available for each, 1 Farsight for card draw. AKA Wonder does have an Acolyte, which I guess he could use with Volcano later on, but for now, it's going to be a pretty slow start for both.
Yeah, the Earthshock there, knocking about for Chinoy's to take care of the Acolyte of Pain, which is basically the main reason you have it in the deck in this matchup. Well, it's not the main reason you have it in the deck, but in this matchup, it's the main use, is to deny Acolyte of Pains and the Manatide Totems as well, just because you want to stop any card draw from your opponent.
It's going to be hitting its target this game as well. Wow, it's like they have a gentleman's agreement or something. Both have a Saronite, both have a Glacial Shard. They're just going to draw all of their battle cries at the same rate.
Yeah, these are very even hands. Somewhat disconcerting, one might say. Doesn't have to come down on this turn, though, it's worth saying, because Farsight does fill out the mana very nicely here.
True.
There's not really any ways that Akawanda can damage his own Acolyte of Pain on the following turn, given that it was a healing totem, not a searing totem, rolled for Chinoy's. Maybe he wants to go for the Saronite Chain Gang on the following turn, though.
Okay, in that case, this makes a lot of sense then. Curving into Saronite seems good, doesn't allow Spain to draw any cards. Wow, okay, Belgium going to play it nice and aggressive and just put a 2 on the board.
This makes sense. I think if you are expecting to see a Manatide Totem on the following turn, this means that you could go for a Lightning Storm to clear it up 100% of the time. Is a small part of the reasoning. The other reasoning is Chinoy's wants to get down cards from his hand that he actually wants to play. Because if he goes too wide with totems and then has to play cards like Glacial Shard, that little pink-haired boy right there in the mind control tech will just quickly sweep away one of the minions.
He doesn't have much hair, but what he does have is definitely pink.
If you turn it upside down, he's kind of got a very hairy head.
What are you turning him upside down for? That's just...
He's got a beard head then.
That's gnome abuse. Okay, we've just been given a warning. Something's happening. Oh!
What?
AKA Wonder is now in Chinoy's room!
Oh, he's in Chinoy's room? I was wondering what had happened there.
I could see Chinoy's behind AKA Wonder.
Wow. I'm not going to call that cheating, but dare I say, literally sitting in front of the computer, in front of your opponent. Probably against the rules of HGG.
I think you can call that cheating.
Yeah, when it's not him actually doing it and he's simply been teleported by the HGG production crew, I think we'll let him get away with it.
And for this very reason, we need Spain to stay in the tournament. Otherwise, production will just get bored.
Because they can't play around with Akawanda's green screen.
Or we need more players with green screens.
Maybe we can make that mandatory. Everyone has to buy a green screen.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
I wonder.
So a kind of interesting early few turns for both players, but to be honest, not all too much to talk about here. They're both just developing their key combo pieces in the Saronite Chain Gang at the start of the game. They kept the cards that were either card draw or combo pieces, as we saw Chinoy's keeping that Chain Gang, Akawanda only keeping the Acolyte O Pain. The main thing Chinoy's needs to be working towards here, I would say, is trying to go Acolyte into Volcano on the same turn, so that it can draw as many cards as possible and is not vulnerable to the one copy of Earthshot from Spain.
Got the spell damage totem, so
Yeah,
you can make an aggressive Lightning Storm now. Clear AKA Wonder off of the board. That's looking good.
And this is where we should talk about, I suppose, the only difference in deck lists from both of these players. Spain is playing an Earthbinder, and Belgium is playing 2 Mind Control techs instead of the one that Spain is playing. So I would put Akawanda at a little bit of an advantage there. The second Sandbinder to draw through to your Electro Storm Surges now that you found Grumble, or I guess a Glacial Shard isn't bad either.
Also, the fact that AKA Wonder has Grumble and Shadowwalk present in hand is a big advantage. All they need is Life Drinker, and then in theory, they are ready to go.
Right, the in theory is a pretty big addendum you have to add on there, because if they do just go for a 50-50 chance to bounce back Shadowwalk, I wonder if that's a risk they have to take. If they sense that their opponent is about to go for the combo themselves, for example, if they play a Grumble of their own, then I can very much see Akawanda just going for a very early Shadowwalk, because they're afraid of being Shadowwalked back themselves, and the player who Shadowwalks first in this matchup is at a pretty large advantage, I would say.
And that's the counterpoint I was going to make, is that AKA Wonder doesn't have to even consider doing that until he's seen a Grumble on his opponent's side, and there it is. So now he is going to want to act quickly. For now, the question is, does he just play Grumble? Does he get that extra Glacial Shard to the hand? Does he play Kalaseth, or does he need to remove this Manatide Totem from the board?
So if he does want to remove that Manatide Totem, the play is cheap Volcano into Kalaseth Hero Power.
Okay.
It's not bad. You've still got a Chain Gang left in the deck. Kalaseth probably doesn't do all too much from here on in, especially as you've already drawn Shadowwalk, so you don't get an immediate benefit. So, yeah, I think I prefer the more expensive Volcano here, leading up to a more flexible turn next turn. Because, yeah, Shadowwalk, the Kalaseth being played, not crucial. It's not like against an aggro deck where you have to get a 3-4 Chain Gang to really have much of a chance.
But Belgium just going to slam down the Grumble without even taking too much time to think about that. It's a 7-7 after all, and they have just seen a Volcano play. This could cause some serious damage.
That's true. The actual body itself, I always do this in Shadowwalk Shaman Mirrors, where I just ignore any stats on the board at all. This is a 6-mana 7-7. That's like the best statted 6-drop in the game. But the main thing I was looking at is you just get it down now, Acolyte of Pain Volcano on the following turn, and then on turn 10, you're potentially just ready to go with a Shadowwalk, because obviously they would be overloaded on turn 9.
Belgium drawn Life Drinker as well. Now all they need is Shadowwalk, and then they're good to go with the Shadowwalk combo. Zola is in the hand, ready to try and secure it, make it a little bit more safe.
Yeah, Zola isn't bad. Zola's a weird one, because you do want to play it in a way, because like you said, it gives you more chance to bounce a 9-mana Shadowwalk back to your hand. I believe it was in the global games yesterday, though, where one of the teams didn't want the Zola in their battle cry pool, because it starts bouncing back 9-mana Shadowwalks, and you have no room for the 1-mana Shadowwalks, which is very bad in this matchup, especially if you're forced to play Hagatha. But I don't envisage that either team will be forced to play Hagatha here.
I wake once more.
As now it's Belgium that have to deal with Spain's Grumble, though they can in much the same way that Spain dealt with theirs. They do have the Hex available to themselves.
They don't even have to deal with it necessarily. We could just see development onto the board, force them to attack into the Manatide Totem or something. But I guess Hex Manatide is probably about as good of a turn as you're going to be getting. I'm thinking kind of greedy here for Belgium. I want to go Manatide into Life Drinker so you can just play Shadowwalk next turn if you draw it off the top. Because you're drawing 2, it's not that unlikely to happen. But yeah, this is the base play, isn't it? This is just the good play. Nothing can go wrong with this.
For AKA Wonder, he's still not played a Life Drinker yet, so he doesn't have the win condition.
And so maybe he goes for Hagatha here, because I said you don't really want to play it in this matchup, because hand size issues get very, very scary. But leaving up that Manatide Totem, oh, it does not feel good at all.
They do have Acolyte Volcano available to
Oh, that's true. Oh, yeah, of course.
They can follow that up with Prince Keleseth.
Way better.
And whatever they draw. If they draw a Life Drinker now, great, play that.
No, good
Set
spot.
up for Shadow Walk. It's not going to allow him to play Shadow Walk next turn because of these 2 points of overload. But still, it's going to get him closer to this Life Drinker, to Zola the Gorgon to secure the combo, to a second Sour Knight Chain Gang even.
Yeah, weird position now where Aka wanted to go for Sandbinder to thin his deck a little bit, draw another Elemental in probably the Glacial Shard or an Electra. Or he could just go for this, get another activation on the Prince Keleseth.
Okay, well
and quite importantly, getting the Zola Battlecry into the pool. So in 2 turns' time, again, we could just see a Shuttlewalk slam down.
There are some big advantages to this, actually. Once the third Keleseth is played, it means that when when Shuttlewalk gets played, it's going to be activating Keleseth a further 3 times. That means even if Shuttlewalk whiffs, the deck is so absurdly powerful that he probably wins through minion pressure alone.
You'd hope so. He doesn't have that many minions left. It's like one more Chain Gang, I guess a couple Life Drinkers. It's enough to push a little bit of extra damage, I suppose. And every advantage you can get if both Shuttlewalks fail is massive.
I mean, the Chain Gang is going to be 8/9s.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's a big old threat. Good point.
Volcano's not going to deal with that.
I concur.
Spain do have the Sandbinder, which will get them the second Glacial Shard as well, if played. So Keleseth Sandbinder Shard isn't looking too bad.
They do want to be afraid about filling up their board and bouncing back those cards with Shuttlewalk to their hand, however. Which is a downside of the play they went for of going Keleseth into Zola, because it makes more minions they have to just dump out onto the board and then kill off if they don't want to have them back in their hand. But I still agree. I think this is still a good play to go for. It just gets stuff on the board.
Casual 3-mana 6/6.
This is like the Ragnaros versus Neferi Tavern Brawl, like the first one where you played like 3-mana 6/6, deal 6 damage or whatever it was. Oof, these mind control techs ain't doing nothing for Belgium, as perfectly played around by Akawanda. They're making sure they don't fall behind on board control. Now only need to guarantee that their Shuttlewalk activates on the following turn.
Yeah, whereas Chinoise is desperately trying to get to his Shuttlewalk.
Yeah.
That's all he needs to be winning the game. But as Lightning Storm is going to start to clear off this board, it looks like Belgium's game plan is to empty this board, meaning that Spain are going to be free to play their Shuttlewalk next turn and let the madness ensue.
And Belgium here is quite clearly, as we saw Chinoise wincing at the low roll on the Lightning Storm on the Zola the Gorgon, he wants to go through board control, right? He wants to try and smash his opponent down, force them to go to Hagatha maybe, so that their Shuttlewalk is less consistent. It's just not really going to work, I think we can all see. Healing Rain, or Electra Healing Rain, if it was necessary for Spain, just to completely nuke this health total.
Nuke this health total.
I was going to say nuke the board because I was thinking of Volcano as the next card in my head, but yeah, nuke his health total the good way up. Because you want your health total to go up, right? So you blow it up.
Okay.
It makes perfect sense when you think about it.
I've been casting with Lorinda for the last 2 days. I can accept this logic.
By his logic, it actually makes sense, even though it doesn't.
What to do?
So we're all just thinking, is it Shuttlewalk time?
Yeah, he's got one Chain Gang, one Zola in the pool.
That's right.
So 66% of the time, I believe he's a happy chappy.
Yep. But still the 3 Keleseths, which I'm going to insist is relevant.
Yeah, it's very relevant, and he is just going for it here. There we go. That's the order he wanted it to go in. The Grumble is going to bounce it back to hand. We can see a whole bunch of 1-mana Shuttlewalks back to the hand. Chinoise gives it a face. I think he's realizing this is pretty much over for him.
Yeah, there's not even any way that this can go wrong, as it's guaranteed that this other 6/6 is being bounced back to the hand. 9 Keleseths have now been activated.
Sorry, worth saying now at this point, I don't believe there's been a life drinker played for Akawanda, so while he has got the ability to go for the full Shudderwock combo, he does still need that life drinker to actually close out the game.
On the other side of the board, Belgium have actually played 3 life drinkers, so when they get their Shudderwock,
they win very quick.
They're going to be dealing some serious damage, yeah.
But the main ability, or sorry, the main benefit gained here by Spain isn't damage through to face quite yet. It is simply minions on board. 2 6/6s every turn minimum is very, very strong.
Unless Gromble ever activates last, and then it's just going to be the 1 6/6.
Yeah, which is actually not that good, right? So Chinoy is actually still very much in the game somehow.
But AKA Wonder can now just stop playing Shadowwalks if he wants to. He can play this, 5/4 Glacial Shard, for example, and wait until he draws a life drinker, and then guarantee the win immediately.
That is true. Especially because it would be like a 4-mana 10/10, maybe more even.
Let's see, 9 Calisths? Yeah, it's a 12/12 actually.
That's pretty good. I reckon you'd take that.
Speaking of 12/12.
Wow. Okay, this is starting to turn into one of those games, isn't it?
I mean, I did tell you that Calisths was going to make a big difference. I didn't know at the time it was going to proc quite this many times.
However, if Chinoy's can find his Shudderwock next turn, though, he's not in that bad of a spot, right?
He's played 2 shards. He's played 3 life drinkers, Grumble,
That's really good. As long as it activates in the correct order, Belgium's in a great spot. But they have to actually draw their Shudderwock first, which is not a foregone conclusion.
They're just deeply discussed, like in a deep discussion as to whether or not they're going to play Shadowwalks or just play incredibly well-statted minions. Lightning can strike twice, but I think in this case, he is actually going to go for the healing range.
He's just dumping his hand. I think this is absolutely right. There's no Hagatha in play for Akawanda, so he doesn't need to be afraid of spells cluttering up his hand, so he's just dumping minions onto the board.
Playing around the 2 copies of Mind Control tech that he knows.
Also correct.
By not playing Glacial Shard, as Chinoy's is not looking happy about this. He's not had the best 2 games of Hearthstone.
So there's now 12/24 health on the board, so an Electro Volcano will clear this up, it's worth saying. That does, however, mean on the following turn he's overloaded for 4, so absolutely no chance of playing a Shudderwock off the top. But what choice does he have? These 12/12 oozes will probably be closing out the game.
Don't know how much damage he thinks that Volcano is going to do. But it is actually going to clear the board. It's 30, isn't it? So never mind. Forget what I just said. Yes.
Consider it done.
Double Volcano. Pretty good. Even against 3-mana 12/12s.
Yeah, you just got to do it here for Belgium. But now Akawanda, I think, can quite happily play Shudderwocks, I guess.
Buff up the rest of his deck by another 6/6 at least.
I'm not really sure what else he does. Actually, he's afraid of adding too many 9-mana Shudderwocks to hand, isn't he?
He does need to be able to draw one of these life drinkers.
That's right. So he wants to be able to go life drinker 6 Shudderwocks on the same turn and win the game, pretty much. Or not win the game right there, but be unable to lose.
So his remaining deck consists of the 2 life drinker. It consists of another Saronite Chain Gang. I was going to say, he probably plays the 9-mana one.
I like this a lot more, because he already has one in hand, and he has still a decent chance to get another 1-mana Shudderwock back to hand.
Now he's hoping Zola activates first, right? He wants this Shudderwock to whiff.
Yes.
He doesn't want to... I know he's done it.
This is the second best order, because he's still got one in hand, and now, if these stick, he can go Shudderwock, which guarantees him at least 2 1-mana Shudderwocks back to hand.
Yep.
Possibly more. Acolyte of Pain hoping to get another Volcano, I guess, off of the Hagatha Witch's Brew.
Not going to do anything about this board, though.
So 12-17 attack coming through. I suppose only 12 now if that Acolyte of Pain does its job.
Oh! 4 mana, 2, 14, 50. Excuse me, Team 5. God. Can you fix this card? Something has gone very wrong here.
Wow. Imagine how happy you are in regular Hearthstone when you see a 3/4 Saronite chain gang. Are you kidding me? That's busted. You get like 6-8 worth of stats for 4 mana.
Who needs Amorous anyway? We just need a bunch of Prince Calisthus in the
Okay,
Shadowwalk.
that was something else entirely. That was like orders of magnitude higher. But still, 4 mana for 28-30 worth of stats, which is like more stats than Topsy Turvy Priest has in its entire deck, pretty much. Pretty nutty. But then again, this is not the easiest turn necessarily for Aka Wonder, because you don't want to play chain gangs and bounce them back to your hand if you have to go for Shadowwalk next turn. It would still be pretty good to play all this worth of stats, but Spain here is passing up on a 4 mana 28-30. Because they're just winning anyway at the moment, right? There's clearly no clear from their opponent. They're representing very easy lethal on the following turn.
And Prince Calisthus is not the card that Chinois needs to save him. How much can he do here?
They can get Volcano. They can go Voltaic Burst or Lava Burst into Volcano if it comes exactly off the Shutterwalk. Frost Shock ain't that, but they can stay alive.
Yeah, they can remove most of this damage from the board, freeze a Shadowwalk, and deal with another.
Sorry, the Chain Gang plays into Mind Control tech as well, which Spain know is there, so that's like the main reason they're not playing all these minions.
And now he can now Chinois can actually freeze 2 of the Shadowwalks with Earthshock and Avalanche.
You can freeze everything, right? Or, oh no, sorry, it freezes
one, and yeah.
I always get that wrong. There's only 2 options, and I always get it the wrong way around.
So freeze both Shadowwalks, leave the Glacial Shard alive. It's only 5 damage. It's not lethal just yet, but Chinois knows that this game is just getting more and more painful the longer it goes on. Oh, yeah.
Go Voltaic Burst, I suppose, but he's not overloaded at the
No,
moment.
he has to play the Frost Shot. Better to remove the 6 damage than the 5.
And just wants to make sure he could play 2 Shadowwalks next turn, should he draw it. And Spain now still not representing lethal. They couldn't go all in because of the Mind Control text in Belgium's hand. Even with this Manatide that I didn't even see what that had. It was like 11 attack, I think, there.
Something like that, yeah.
I wonder.
They need to be hesitant to play it. I guess if they attack in to the MCT and then play the Manatide Totem.
We're plus 12-12 at the moment, right? So it's a 12-15.
I guess so.
And now we're going to be plus 15-15.
Whole bunch of 1-mana Shadowwalks back to the hand for Aka Wonder. He will be developing a very nice, juicy board as well, and continuing to play around that Mind Control tech effect, should he choose to, but if he goes for the Chain Gang here, he will actually not be playing around Mind Control tech.
That does get to a point, Derek, where you do want to play your 4-mana 14-15, 14-15.
I think that point is right now as well.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have to play it there, but I suppose if you don't play out all this stuff, it gives Chinois the opponent to roll the Volcano off of a minion. Oh.
He got a Shadowwalk, finally! Chinois did it. The whole game, all he's wanted is a Shadowwalk. He got there.
Can he get anything off of Unstable Evolution? Like,
no.
Doomsayer doesn't activate because he'd be dead. No 10 drops do anything. I'm not seeing it. I'm thinking he's going to get Manatide totemed to death.
It's not a good way to die, is it?
No. It's a pretty unique way to die, and it's one that I'm sure Aka Wonder will be happy to have gotten here at the Global Games.
Honestly, not sure what Chinois is looking for.
Yeah, there is just nothing. I don't think that can save him anymore. A-Bomb's interesting, but does not get the job done. He's just looking for taunts, I guess.
Not quite the matchup in which Abomination saves you.
Well, I mean, when Samurai Chain Gangs are at their regular health total, it gets a little bit more reasonable.
Can you make another Abomination?
Can we get the triple? Come on, just for the memes.
Whoa!
What is this game?
Chinois. Okay, Aka Wonder, concede.
They still lose.
Concede right now.
They still lose, but what are the odds of that? Are you insane? Oh my god. That is the perfect way to end this game.
Wow.
Man, this is, you know, usually we prefer the more subtle, nuanced, skill-based versions of Hearthstone. Sometimes, though, it's pretty cool to see triple abomination being rolled versus a 12-15 mana tide totem, because why not at this point?
Shadowwalk, ladies and gentlemen.